What's going on, everyone? Got a crossbow review video for you guys today. The Diesel X from Killer Instinct. So stay tuned. All right, here's the game plan for this video, guys. We're gonna go over specs and features first on the Diesel X, and then we're gonna sight this thing in. I haven't shot it at all yet. And then we're just gonna see how well it shoots. We're gonna shoot at normal hunting ranges, and then we might just stretch it out a little bit for fun and see how it does. And finally, we'll wrap up the video with my impressions of the bow and what you can expect if you decide to purchase the Diesel X. The Diesel X features the patented, fully synchronized X-Cam system, which requires less effort to draw than most crossbows with its impressive 50% let-off design. The X-Cam also produces a crossbow system that shoots quieter with less vibration, and to soak up even more vibration, the Diesel X comes standard with string stops and limb dampers. Pairing the X-Cam system with a 180-pound draw weight and a 15-inch power stroke, the Diesel X is capable of speeds up to 405 feet per second. Uncocked, the Diesel X width is 10 3/8 inches axle to axle, and when cocked, an ultra narrow 6 1/4 inches axle to axle. The overall weight of the bow is 7.4 pounds, and the overall length is adjustable from 32.5 inches to 34 3/4 inches, thanks to a 5-position adjustable buttstock. The 4-end Picatinny rail system allows for easy adjustment of the 4-end grip, which also doubles as a comfortable carry handle. The trigger pull on the Diesel X is 3.5 pounds, and the trigger box assembly features an ambidextrous anti-dry fire safety. The Diesel X is also compatible with Killer Instinct's removable, compact DSC narrow sled crank. However, that crank is sold separately. The bow does come with Killer Instinct's Elite package, featuring the Lumix Speed Ring 1.5 to 5 by 32 optics, which has an illuminated reticle and speed-calibrated aiming points out to 100 yards. The Elite package also comes with a sled cocking rope, detachable quiver, 3 20-inch hyper arrows, and rail lube. And as standard with Killer Instinct crossbows, the Diesel X is backed by a limited lifetime warranty. All right, enough yapping. Let's start shooting. We're going to start at 20 yards, and we're going to use the supplied Killer Instinct Hyper Arrows. These are a 390 grain arrow, and that includes the 100 grain tip. So we're going to shoot exactly what came in the box, starting at 20 yards. All right, so we were about 4 to 5 inches to the right on our first shot. On the Lumix Speed Ring, the windage and elevation turrets are a half MOA per click. That means every click is going to move your point of impact a half of an inch at 100 yards. So obviously we're shooting at 20. There's lots of charts or calculators or things like that if you have trouble figuring out how many clicks you need to move it, since we need to move it 5 inches-ish at 20 yards. But what I like to do is I like to just lock everything down on my Bog Death Grip. If you have something like a lead sled or something that's solid where you can lock your crossbow in, and instead of trying to figure out how many clicks you need, just lock it in with your reticle right on the bullseye, and then just do however many clicks you need to move the point of impact right to where your arrow hit on that first shot. That's what we're going to do, and we'll see how it does on the second shot. All right, so that worked perfect. The second shot was right in the bullseye, so now we're going to move back to 30 yards. So just a touch low at 30 yards. What we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to lock everything down. I'm going to line my reticle up with the bullseye of the target, and then I'm going to adjust the elevation turret to exactly where that arrow hit, and we should be just about dead on our second shot. All All right, so we got the center of the reticle dialed in at 30 yards. So that is gonna be my 0 to 30. That's what I like. I just want that triangle. Basically, if it's dead on at 30, it's gonna be pretty darn close to dead on. Anything inside of that with how fast these crossbows shoot. The center of the reticle is not going to change if you change the magnification, okay? It is going to stay the same. It's gonna stay the same 0 at 30 yards regardless of the magnification, or AKA the speed ring on the particular Lumix optic here. So what we're gonna do, I've got the target moved back to 50 yards. So that's gonna be the second dot below the triangle. And we're gonna shoot that. If we need to make left-right adjustments, we'll do that on the windage turret. But if we need to make up-down adjustments, here's where we're either gonna turn the speed up or the magnification up if we're a little bit high, or we're gonna turn the magnification down if we're a little bit low. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna change the spacing of that 50-yard dot relative to our 30-yard dot to get the correct holdover. So here's where we're dialing in the speed ring. As far as the initial speed ring setting goes, you guys can start at the rated speed of the crossbow. So for the Diesel X here, that's 405 feet per second. That's a perfect starting point if that is where you would like to start. I personally, having shot a lot of KI crossbows, having shot a lot of crossbows in general, have found that they shoot just a tick slower than what they're advertised at. So I am going to start at 395 for my initial speed ring setting. So now that we got the speed ring, what seems to be set pretty well, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the 3 arrows that came with the crossbow. We're gonna shoot a 40-yard group with the 3 arrows. All right, so not a bad 40-yard group, but to be perfectly honest, you guys, the mosquitoes are starting to tear me up a little bit. So there's some user error probably on that 40-yard group. I would be willing to bet this crossbow and even maybe a few more shots on my part could dial that in even better. But regardless, that is a perfectly fine 40-yard group. So because we're losing daylight, we're not going to stretch this thing out too far. So we're just going to go from my patio to my wood pile. That is 60 yards. All right, you guys, let's wrap up this video on the Killer Instinct Diesel X. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is something that you guys find as a great crossbow option in 2023, because I certainly think it is. And there's a couple things I want to highlight here as we close this video. The X cam system is a fantastic cam system. It generates a lot of speed, 405 feet per second, but it's low sound, it's low vibration, it's easy to cock with that 50% let off. It's just a really great overall cam system, and you package it in a narrow crossbow that's got a short axle to axle, not only when it's drawn, but when it's uncocked. It really just is it's a fantastic platform. If there was one thing that stood out to me with this crossbow, having shot it throughout filming this video, it would be the vibration on this thing. It is so low. I mean, honestly, this is, and I'm not lying when I say that this is probably the most vibration-free crossbow that I have shot. And I think there's a couple things that go with it. The X-Cam is one of them. And the X-Cam doesn't need string stops. They didn't have it on the Fatal X last year or the X1, but I think the fact that they added it as kind of some belt and suspenders to just soak up a little bit more, I think that really made a difference. And I also think that pairing it with a composite rail, that composite rail is also soaking some up, because this thing, it is smooth, smooth, smooth. And I love that. I hate vibration in compound bows. I hate it in crossbows. I hate it in all kinds of stuff. So when I shot this, I was honestly shocked at how little vibration it had. And you guys saw, I mean, the accuracy was there. We shot great out to 60 yards. We could probably stretch it out further if we had a little bit more time, but in a realistic hunting scenario that most of you guys are going to experience, shot a perfectly fine 40-yard group, even though I was getting blasted by mosquitoes. It shot great at 50, it shot fine at 60. I mean, this is a great package. So when you combine that accuracy with that vibration, this is a really, really solid crossbow. The optics, I'm really glad they offered, you know, a mid-tier price point crossbow with the Lumix speed ring, because this is a fantastic optic. I've shot this for a while now. It's one of my favorites. I really like it. You know, if there was one thing, I painted a lot of positives here. I don't want to say this is a negative, but it was one thing I had to get used to, was the trigger a little bit. And this is me coming from an X1 and previously coming from an XP, where that trigger system, I mean, that is superior. It has a 3.5 pound trigger pull. It's just got a little bit more movement than the X1 that I'm used to. So after shooting it for a little bit, 100% something I could get accustomed to. It moves very free. It's just got a little bit more movement before it breaks. But overall, you guys, this crossbow, it is a fantastic deal coming in at the price point that it does, and that's $550 from KI's website. But don't forget, if you guys missed our video just a couple weeks ago, KI has offered the Draggin followers a 20% discount using the code DRAGONDEER on anything you put in your cart on the KI website. That includes bows, that includes arrows, that includes optics, accessories, whatever. 20% off whatever you put in your cart. So that's going to bring this crossbow down to $440, which, when you put it that way, Diesel X is a fantastic option that offers some superior vibration damping just inherent to its design. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did, making it for you. If you did enjoy it, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We'll have more not only Diesel X crossbow videos coming for you, but also other crossbow videos coming for you here real soon. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.